you where I am. I'm at a place where people bring their pets, but it's not the park. And here's another hint. When animals are sick or hurt, people bring them to this place. And now for my final clue from Martha Speaks.
The examination is really simple. Ready, Martha? Ready!
Great clue! This place has a special type of doctor. Okay, now let's go over the clues. I'm at a place where there are lots of animals. And sometimes these animals are sick. And there's a special kind of doctor here who helps them. So can you guess where I am? Yes, a veterinarian's office.
Catch Fetch, the game show with the one and only Ruffman.
What? Oh, sorry. Yes, please, screw him away.
Ah, like a cat! Your whole species is a mystery to me.
It's Fetch, weekdays on PBS Kids Go, or watch anytime you want at pbskidsgo.org.
There's a show on PBS Kids that has everyone learning to read. WordWorld, where letters come together to build new friends, new places, and a whole new world of fun.
It's time to build a word. Let's build it. Let's build it now.
Ball. Let's play ball.
Yay!
Watch WordWorld weekdays only on PBS Kids. And you can have fun building words every day at pbskids.org.
It's Dinosaur Train on PBS Kids.
This is so great.
Your ticket to adventure.
Look at all these footprints. Well, hello there.
There's family.
Buddy and Dawn, Mommy, Daddy, and Shiny. Then there's me, and my name's Tiny.
Fun.
La la loo.
And of course,
the Dinosaur Train.
All aboard.
High 4. High 3. High 2.
Watch Dinosaur Train weekdays on PBS Kids.
Guess what this is, Miss Rosa?
Cardboard from a used paper towel roll?
Well, it is a paper towel roll from the recycle bin, but it's also the world's smallest race car tunnel.
Wow, a race car tunnel? Well, how does a race car drive through that small tunnel?
All you need is a small race car. I mean, all you need is a smaller race car.
Every week,
That's me.
Martha Speaks is proof positive.
Do we love llamas, people?
There's nothing like a talking dog.
Hello?
You guys are really irritating.
Does irritating mean fun? On your mark, go!
Martha Speaks on PBS Kids.
Wow.
Thomas and Friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them because you helped me to make them. Your loving Daddy.
The island of Sodor is surrounded by beautiful blue sea. It has fields of green and sandy yellow beaches. There are rivers, streams, and lots of trees where the birds sing. There are windmills and a coal mine and docks where visitors to the island arrive. The island also has lots and lots of railway lines. Who's that puffing down the track? It's Thomas. Hello, Thomas. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the island of Sodor.
Twas the beginning of the winter season, and the beginning of the Christmas month. The weather was snowy, and covered the island in a beautiful white blanket. This would keep the engines busy, however, as they would have to plow through the snow with their snow plows, all to pull passenger trains and haul freight. The engines of Sodor loved the Christmas season, but no engine loved it more than Thomas. Thomas always loved to see happy children and festive decorations at every station. What he especially loved was that he got to see the Kyndley family, especially Mrs. Kyndley. He still remembered the time Mrs. Kyndley saved him from a mudslide at a tunnel near her home. Thomas was pulling Annie and Clarabelle down his branch line when Mrs. Kyndley's home came into view. He gave a loud whistle, expecting her to wave through the window. But as he passed, she never came out. She always says hello, he stated sadly. She just might not be home, soothed the driver. We have all month to see her. Besides, we'll get to see her family in Natford if we hurry. This made Thomas feel much better as he hurried along the track. When Thomas arrived, he did see the Kyndley family. But instead of a warm hello, they turned to him with worried faces and walked away. Thomas was hurt. What's the matter with them? They always say hello. Perhaps they're tired of seeing you every year, said James. They might like to see a different engine for once, like me. Before Thomas could say anything else, James chucked away importantly. As Thomas left the station, he felt very upset. It's not true, is it? When Thomas was at the yards in Farquhar, all he could think about was what James had said. He became more and more hurt at the thought as it lingered in his funnel. Stupid James! He doesn't know what he's talking about. They love me! Mrs. Kyndley loves me! Thomas was soon so distracted that he wasn't watching what he was doing. Soon enough, there was a loud crash. Thomas snapped out of his thoughts to find that he had derailed some trucks by accident. Oh, dear, sighed Thomas. Oh, dear indeed, said a stern voice. It was Sir Topham Hatt. What happened, Thomas? You hadn't been this careless in a long time. Thomas looked to his buffers before explaining everything. Sir Topham Hatt then let out a huge sigh. I will speak to James later, but that isn't the reason they aren't talking to you. He then took off his hat. A sad frown was on his face. Thomas, Mrs. Kyndley is gone. The atmosphere changed. Gone to where, sir? Thomas asked softly. A better place. It happened while she was asleep. She went peacefully. Her family didn't want to say anything to you. They didn't have the heart to. I'm sorry, Thomas. I really, truly am. Thomas had gone incredibly silent. Looking down to his buffers, he tried to hide his tears. The days after felt cold and lonely for poor Thomas. James did apologize to Thomas, but Thomas didn't say anything in return. Thomas didn't feel excited for Christmas anymore. All he could think about was his memories with Mrs. Kyndley. I hope Thomas can get his Christmas spirit back. Don't you?
Surprises, surprises, they come all shapes and sizes. You never know what's round the bend. It might delight, it might offend. That's why there's surprises with all the highs and lows. To come up top or come full stop. Who knows, who knows, who knows?
You're halfway up a hillside and all is going fine, when all at once a snow slide comes right across the line.
You think you're really done for, but help is on its way. You'd be surprised how often that someone saves the day.
Surprises, surprises, they come all shapes and sizes. You never know what's round the bend. It might delight, it might offend. That's why there's surprises with all the highs and lows. You come at top or come full stop. Who knows, who knows, who knows? Surprises, surprises, they come all shapes and sizes. You never know what's round the bend. It might delight, it might offend. That's why there's surprises with all the highs and lows. You come at top, come full stop, shine and gleam, neat and clean. Take the mail, come off the rail. Who knows, who knows, who knows?
The island of Sodor is home to lots of Thomas's friends. Friends on the rails, friends on the roads, and even some friends in the air. They are all very different, and each very special. And they are all Thomas's friends. Thomas has two friends who don't run on the rails: Jeremy the plane and Harold the helicopter. Harold is a friend to all the engines on Sodor. Thomas always looks forward to seeing Harold. One day, all the engines were busy talking about a surprise for Thomas. Thomas puffed in. He was happy to see his friends, but his friends wouldn't talk to him. Harold flew away, and Toby chuffed off quickly. Thomas was puzzled. When Thomas arrived at Tidmouth, he was even more puzzled. There was Harold again. This time he was talking to all the engines. And still, no one would tell Thomas what they were talking about. Thomas felt very left out, so he huffed away. Thomas hid in a lonely siding. Then he heard a friendly whir and whoosh. Harold had come to find Thomas. Harold told Thomas there was to be a wonderful surprise for him. None of the engines could tell him about it because then it wouldn't be a surprise anymore. That made Thomas feel very happy. Harold told Thomas to puff quickly away. The children were waiting for him. Later, Thomas puffed into Wellsworth, and there was his surprise. A wonderful, sparkling Christmas tree. A thank you from his friends for all his hard work. Thomas was very pleased Harold had come to find him. Thomas wasn't so pleased the first time he met Jeremy the plane. It was the day of the Sodor summer picnic. Thomas was excited. He had come to collect children from the airport and take them to the picnic. Then Thomas met Jeremy. Jeremy boasted that from the air, he could see everything for miles around. Thomas could only see ahead of him on the track. That made Thomas feel he wasn't really useful. But later that day, Thomas and Jeremy were both really useful. Jeremy had seen, high up in the sky, that a bad summer storm was coming. He told Thomas that the children's picnic would be ruined. Jeremy couldn't land near the picnic to warn Sir Topham Hatt. But Thomas knew what to do. He would steam back to the children as fast as he could. He arrived at the picnic just in time. The children climbed on board, and no one got wet. Now Thomas always looks out for his friends in the air. He knows they can see things he can't, and that sometimes they can travel faster. But wherever they are, and whatever they're doing, they always help each other, because that's what good friends do. Work on the Sodor Railway is fun. Sometimes it's difficult, but the engines always know what to do. In winter, when it's cold, the tracks can become icy. That makes them very slippery. The engines have to be careful when they come to a junction. Thomas knows what to do. He changes tracks slowly. When Gordon has a lot of heavy coaches, he has to be careful coming down Gordon's Hill. And when he sees Bertie the bus at the crossing, Gordon has to stop. Gordon knows what to do. He applies his brakes gently so that his passengers aren't bumped about. When Percy pulls the mail train, it can sometimes get very foggy. But Percy knows what to do. He asks his driver to light his lamp so that he can see the track ahead and deliver the mail on time. Working on the Sodor Railway isn't always easy, but it's no problem for Thomas, Gordon, and Percy, because they all know what to do. Thomas is arriving at his favorite station. But today, Thomas knows that something about the station has changed. Can you help Thomas find out what it is? Take a look. What's new about the station today? Is it the benches? No, the benches aren't new. The benches were at the station yesterday. What else could be new at the station? What about those posters? No, the posters aren't new. The posters were at the station yesterday. Thomas is sure something has changed. What else could be new? What about those hanging baskets? There were no hanging baskets at the station yesterday. That's right, Thomas. You found out what's new at the station today. It's the hanging baskets. Thomas thinks the station looks even prettier than yesterday. Thomas, Toby, and Percy are taking some children to their favorite place today. Some are going to the seaside. Some are going to a picnic in the forest. And some of them are going to the ice skating rink. The children have made special flags for their trips. Can you guess who's going where? Here's Thomas. Thomas's children have painted a picture of ice skates on their flag. Where do you think Thomas is taking them? To the seaside? No, you don't need ice skates at the seaside. How about the ice skating rink? Yes, The children in Thomas's car will definitely need ice skates. Now they have arrived at their favorite place, the ice skating rink. Here's Toby. Toby's children have painted a picture of a bucket and spade on their flag. Can you guess where Toby is taking them? Do you think he's going to a picnic in the forest? No, you don't take buckets and spades to the forest. What about the seaside? Yes, the children in Toby's car will need buckets and spades. Now they can build sandcastles at their favorite place, the seaside. Only Percy is left. His children have painted a picture of baskets full of food on their flag. Where do you think Percy is taking them? Could it be to a picnic in the forest? Yes! The children in Percy's car will need baskets full of food. Now they can have a picnic in their favorite place, the forest. Thomas, Toby, and Percy have taken the children to their favorite places. Well done, all of you.
Christmas Eve had arrived on Sodor, and all the engines were preparing for the festive holiday. All except Thomas, who stayed in his shed while the other engines had went to a Christmas party at Knapford. He sat there by himself. No driver, no fireman, nothing around him but himself and his thoughts. Christmas isn't the same without Mrs. Kyndley, he thought to himself. It wouldn't be right to celebrate it when she's gone. Knapford Station looked beautiful. The sunset shined down onto the white snow just outside the station. And lights were streamed everywhere with a Christmas tree and Christmas wreaths. Percy, however, was worried about Thomas. I sure hope he changes his mind, Percy said worriedly. Time had passed. The sun had fully set, and the snow began to fall. And Thomas was fully asleep until... The door creaked open, and Thomas opened his eyes. There, before him, was a young woman with brown hair. She smiled up at Thomas. "Merry Christmas," she said kindly. Thomas was surprised. "What are you doing here?" he asked curiously. "I'm here to wish you a Merry Christmas," she replied kindly. Thomas frowned and looked away. "I'm not celebrating," he grumbled. The woman looked surprised. "Why not?" she gasped. "You can't just sit here all by yourself on Christmas." "Somebody I cared about is gone," said Thomas sadly. "I won't be able to spend Christmas with her this year, or any other year." The woman looked silently up at Thomas before placing her hand on his left buffer. "When I was a little girl," she began softly, "I lost my grandpa on Thanksgiving. He was gone in one day. He always brought a smile everywhere he went, and we never thought we'd be able to celebrate Christmas without that smile. But we tried anyway, and we realized something. We were happy with each other and kept each other company. We still all had smiles, and we all had a great time." She then smiled to Thomas. "There will be people that we could lose by the next year, but I've learned that Christmas is about spending it with those you love while you still can. And even if they pass away, they will always be with you, no matter what. That's why it's the Christmas spirit." Thomas was given a lot to think about, But his thoughts were then interrupted as she rubbed his face. I must get going now. Merry Christmas. What's your name? Thomas smiled warmly. It's Thomas. What's yours? She smiled warmly in return. Thomas. Such a wonderful name. My name is Kitty. Kitty Kyndley. She then began walking away, leaving Thomas to the sudden realization. Mrs. Kyndley? Wait! Don't go! Mrs. Kyndley! Thomas? Thomas? Thomas awoke. A voice was calling out to him. It was his driver, along with his fireman. Hello, Thomas. We came to wish our favorite engine a Merry Christmas. Even if he is keeping himself cooped up in the sheds. Would you like to get warmed up? It's cold out here. Thomas didn't respond for a moment, remaining silent before looking to his driver. Driver? It's not too late for the Christmas party, is it? The driver looked surprised. No, it isn't. Why do you ask? I would like to go, if you could take me, sir. I want to celebrate Christmas with all my friends, with everyone I care about. That's what I like to hear, boomed a familiar voice. From outside the shed was none other than the Fat Controller. I had a hunch you'd change your mind after all, so I came to assign a special task just for you. You are to go to Titmuth Station to pick up the Kyndleys and take them to the big station for the party. We won't start without our #1 engine. Thomas beamed. Oh, thank you, sir. Soon, Thomas' firebox grew bright, and Thomas had plenty of steam. He left the sheds and collected Annie and Clarabelle. Come along, he chuffed excitedly. Annie and Clarabelle were pleased. There's a party, they both sang happily. Thomas was greeted by the Kyndleys at Titmuth Station. They were very happy to see their favorite tank engine. They boarded the coaches, and they were soon off to Knapford. The night was cold, and the snow fell as Thomas plowed away with his snowplow. But Thomas wasn't bothered by his snowplow, nor did he even feel cold. His fire was the same as always, as was his steam. But Thomas felt warmer than he had in weeks. Everyone cheered when they saw Thomas arrive at the platform with the Kyndleys. The party began. There was caroling, games, and even a Santa, who was secretly Sir Topham Hatt. Everyone had a fascinating night, and Thomas was happy he came. For a moment, Thomas looked to the edge of the platform. He could have sworn he saw Mrs. Kyndley before she disappeared. But all Thomas did was smile. Merry Christmas, Mrs. Kyndley.
Far away, don't know who
adventure time.
Join the adventure with all your PBS Kids pals.
Doesn't that sound great?
Weekdays on PBS Kids or anytime you want at pbskids.org.